guys, welcome. If you're new here, welcome back. If you've been here a time or two. Today, I'm going to read a few verses from Genesis 9. We're going to read, I think it's verse 12 through 17. And it is when Jesus gives the promise of the covenant. I am right on Main Street, so it's a little loud. I tried to make this video in my car, but my phone overheated, so that didn't work. And then there's an 8-year-old at my house, so this just worked better for the time being. So bear with me. And it is through verse 7. So Genesis 9, verses 12 through 17. And God said, "This is the sign of the covenant I am making between me, you, and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring the clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind of the earth." So God said to Noah, "This is the sign of the covenant I have established between me and all living creatures, all life on earth." Sorry, guys. So, this verse, it has so much to unpack and just talk about. So, as many of you know, there was a flood in my hometown, and there's been repeated floods. If you've checked on the news or anything about the Texas Hill Country, it's been a little rough. And so I've been having to be very intentional with how I'm spending my time, because work has been very hard recently as well, with just the added pressure of work, plus this going on in my personal life and trying to help out with that, just trying to juggle all of that. I've been very, very intentional with what I'm doing in my life, like I'm not consuming worldly TV shows anymore. Like when I come home, I'll turn on a podcast and I'll listen to that, or I'll watch Christian TikTokers on their live where they're talking about God and doing Bible studies on that. Or I'll just read the Bible on my own, I'm doing things like that instead of going home and watching a TV show with my aunt. And I love my family, and that's how we spend family time together. But it's just, I cannot do that personally in my downtime and feel fueled enough to go out and do my other stuff. Because even with being so intentional with this stuff, I'm still barely being patient and loving and caring in the aspect that I want to be with my church, with the people that I'm around. I want to be Jesus' skin onto these people, but I'm falling a little bit shorter than what I'd like. And I know God gives me grace, because He knows I'm battling the battle with my flesh and stuff like that. And there are people that are difficult to love, and there are some people that have been very difficult to love, and there's people that are grieving, and sometimes the way we all grieve and deal with hardship is different, and it clashes, and it's hard to grieve together when you're having to work and pull yourself out and stuff. It can be difficult. And then so it's been hard, and I don't want to complain about work. So anyways, I've been pouring myself like that. And so I've been reading Genesis a lot recently. And so and I've been intentional with my time. So I had to figure out where my train of thought was with that. So anyway, I've been doing that. And then, so while I was looking for one of my content creators that I like to watch, I came across this one. And it's not even a content creator that I like, but I watched this video, and it was this little toddler aged kid. I'm not exactly sure how old they are, but it was a little toddler. And they were like, "Mommy, I need a rainbow. I'm praying to Jesus. I'm asking for a rainbow. He's going to bring me a rainbow." She was like, "Okay, keep looking. Tell me when you see it. Not if you're going to see it, but when." And then at one point he goes, look, there's my rainbow. And it was this, not like a slight shaded rainbow, like a lot of times you see, but this really big, vibrant rainbow. And it was just so beautiful, and seeing how excited this kid got, and just remembering that childlike faith. And I meditated on it, and God was just like telling me, like, remember, like, the childlike faith, and to have that childlike faith, and to not like meditate on this bad or the storm, but like the rainbow after the storm. And like when we have a storm, remember the rainbow after the storm, because God doesn't just bring the storm and just that's it, that's the end of the story. No, it's semicolon rainbow, there's a blessing after the storm. And that's just a beautiful gift that we get to have. Like, we don't have to end, the story doesn't end at the storm, but we get these blessings and beautiful things after those storms, which is amazing, you know? That's one thing about rainbows. And then there's like God's not gonna flood the earth, and that's like been a big thing. And so that's why, anyways, so that kid prays about it, right? For this rainbow. And that stuck with me, because on Sunday I woke up and I was like, I have to go to church. I feel like God was like there was a battle going on with me, between, like, there was something trying to stop me from getting to church. And I was like, I have to get to church. Like, I need to be spiritually fed. Like I said, I've been kind of like, I've been pouring out in so many ways, like I need to be poured into. And then it was a flash flood warning again, or a watch, I don't even remember. But it was flooding, mind you. I don't remember what it was when I woke up, was the thing. But when I drove, it was flooding. But anyways, I told God, I was like, I have to go. I'm not opening this window and I'm not gonna look. But I prayed all morning, the whole time I got ready for church. I was like, God, you are gonna let in this rain. Like, I was praying with boldness and confidence. I was like, I'm humbly coming to your throne of grace because I need to get to church. Like, I need to be in my community. I need to be in fellowship, and I need to be with other believers, and I know they're still having church because I've checked. So, like, you're gonna help me get there. Lord, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you're gonna calm this storm, because I've seen you do it, because I want to bring Jesus on my boat. So you're gonna calm this storm, because I know you can. I know you can, and I know you can bring a rainbow from this storm. So God, I ask you to lighten this storm and bring a rainbow from this storm, because I know you can, because you've done it before. You've done it before. And I just kept saying that, and I kept turning, like, in my mind to the stories that, like he's done this before. Like, I am not being like, God, you know, like, I'm, like, bold, and I'm confident, and I'm like, I know you can do this, God. And I need you to do this. My community needs you to do this. He got me to church safely. Did I see the rainbow? No. But guess what? The rainbow did come. It was this really beautiful, nice rainbow. And like and the rainbow like stretches across. Like, the one is on one end of the river that's been flooding, and the other is on the other end of the river that's been flooding really bad. And I was just like, that's so cool, you know, to remind us, like, yeah, this river has been flooding. It's caused a lot of damage. A lot of people have lost their lives, but, like, this is not going to be a flood that kills everybody like the flood in Noah's days. Like, to remind us of that, because there's a lot of godly people in the hill country, you know, and help ground us and remember, like, God is still good despite this tragedy, despite all the bad going on, and, like, there is still joy in life, because when you look at a rainbow, like, that is joy. There's peace there. There's, like, a calmness when you look at a rainbow, like even non-Christians, when they look at a rainbow, you know, they've turned it into a really big worldly thing, but, like, everybody loves rainbows, even before you know what they mean. Like, children love rainbows. Like everybody just, when you see a rainbow, it's just like something in your spirit. It's like we know that's our covenant with God. Like, that's one of the closest things to heaven, you know. You look up and you just, that's home, you know. Like, we want to go home to heaven, because heaven is our home. And, you know, like, that's our covenant between God, you know. Like, and I just love that. And it's one of those things that it just amazes me, you know. So I just wanted to talk about that a little more, because I couldn't say all of that in a short little TikTok video. I did like a 3-minute thing on that, but I didn't mention all of that. But there's so much. I have so much notes on Genesis. So if y'all would like maybe to go through Genesis at one point on here, let me know. But I think that is all I'm going to talk about from this little bit. But yeah, rainbows are so cool. If you have something else like biblical about a rainbow you want to talk about, that was just a little bit about a rainbow that has really impacted me this week that I just wanted to share with you guys. Bye, have a great day. If you liked this video, remember to give it a big thumbs up. And yeah, if you had any thoughts, anything you wanted to share, feel free to comment or share this video with other people. Have a great day, guys.